I'm years behind because
I met a gypsy.
From the AJ that rocks up at a Supercross race right now, who rides fucking good, what is the difference between you and Cooper Webb that you can see tangibly on the racetrack on the weekend?
that difference is a little bit more major. There's a lot of things that go into the Cooper Webb. So we'll start with this. The difference between me and Kyle Chisholm, somebody that makes the main event consistently, Kyle Chisholm is as solid as they get. And he's a 17th, he's a 16th, 18th place main event guy every weekend. The difference between me and a Chiz is, if on the bike fitness, for me is a huge, I'm lacking that huge right now, but that's something that is easily obtainable for somebody that rides consistently. And with that comes that extra bit of intensity. So landing a rhythm into a corner in just that 1 second of throttle, where I'm just using that as my rest zone and coasting for a second. It's charging that extra 6 inches into a corner, just that little bit where I'm using those zones right now to chill out, to take that deep breath, to flow around the corner and rest for a second and be like, all right, here comes the rhythm. Let's prep for this rhythm. Okay, here we go. And into the rhythm we go. Where those guys are attacking every inch of the track. It's minor. The difference between me and a Cooper Webb, there's a lot of pieces to that puzzle. First of all, unfortunately, so I'm 27 years old. I feel like my skill on a bike is good, is up there with some of the better guys, but I'm years behind. Thank you. I'm years behind because I trained hard in 2012, 2013, 2014. 2015 is when the academy started. So 2015 to current, so the last 6 years have been dedicated to building my business. These 6 years, I've probably ridden, this isn't an exaggeration, races excluded, I've probably ridden 15 days a year. So do the math on that. These guys are riding 4 days a week, 52 weeks a year, no matter what. I'll never catch up. I'm 6 years behind of whatever that math is, however many days I missed per year, times that by 6. I'm screwed. But I can close that gap in a year to get to where Chiz is, maybe in 2 years to get to where Chiz is. Where if I start doing 4 days a week, which my wife is going to be working remote, my business is at a place where I'm financially independent, where I can not make money for 6 months, go train, and put some time in. And I'm hoping that will get me to that level next year. Because it's minor stuff, man. But when you're doing it how I'm doing right now, and I got a good start in the heat this weekend, I was riding in 10th or 11th the first couple laps. By lap 3, I was so tired I could barely even get around that track. And that's 3 laps into a heat race. And I'm not embarrassed to say that because it's a super physical sport. And I know kind of my situation. But dude, by the time Alex Ray passed me for 11th, I couldn't feel my arms. I couldn't breathe. And I might as well just pulled off at that point.
That is hectic, dude.
And it's really scary to ride. I hate talking about this because, first of all, it always sounds like an exaggeration. And I don't want to make excuses. But to not ride ever, to practice 14 days a year, and to have that be only on a supercross track is really terrifying. It's not like I'm just going out and riding an outdoor track and kind of build myself back into it. It's like, all right, here we go. Haven't ridden in 6 months. Let's gear up and just go hit these supercross whoops. All right, cool.
Yeah. I could see that being a pretty heavy experience.
Yeah, it's different. It's almost like I'm still running off of muscle memory from 2015, and that's kind of carried me through till now. Yeah. But I can't get away with it much longer.
Yeah.
And so the competition is getting faster and I'm getting older.
Yeah. And so did you just made the choice to put the effort early into the academy and the YouTube channel? Because, I mean, here is the thing with all of this is like even if you were qualifying for mains, like you get to the point where you're a cheers and you sort of put life on hold for a bit and you get in and make mains, like really what does that mean? Like there's probably a level of personal satisfaction in that, and I'm sure, and I think that that's all you need. And to backtrack a little bit, when you said you don't want to make excuses, I think that just by you like laying out your expectations, I don't think that you're expecting to make mains and then you're saying like, oh, I'm super tired and it's an excuse. I don't think it's an excuse at that point if your expectations, like you kind of know where you're at. But yeah, it's like, let's say you take that 6 months off and you train and you get to where you're a main event guy every single weekend. What's the fucking big, you know what I mean? What's the difference? Like you're there or you're not. Like, I mean, yeah, personal fulfillment, that is a worthwhile achievement. I mean, I train super fucking hard at jiu-jitsu for literally no reason. But there's a personal satisfaction in that. There's a personal fitness level. There's like the mental stuff that I've got to overcome every day just to show up and do the training. So I think that, you can't discount the worth of just personal satisfaction that you can get from something. But it's like, yeah, I mean, does it even get that much better for you just by making mains?
It would take all of that dedication to just barely be making mains and to be a 20th place guy, to be a 19th place guy, right? And you're exactly right. That would be just kind of a personal goal, really. Yeah. And I mean, man, it's tough because I consciously made that decision tail end of 2014 going into 15. I had a lot of people in my ear that were outside of the industry saying, well, what are you going to do after riding, this and that? And it just kind of got my gears turning. I always did really well in school. I was always pretty articulate. I was training riders when I was 13, 14 years old. I was already had that dialogue going. I was kind of like starting to train people and tailor my training style and learn how to articulate it and make sense of it. And I was just like, you know what, we're going to do this thing because you're not going to make much money racing Supercross. You're going to make even less money racing outdoors. I got to be creative with it and try to brand myself. And the last 5 years, especially the last, I'd say 12 months, I've really gained some serious momentum with it. Yeah. And now it's at the point where I'm 27 years old. I feel like I'm just getting into my physical prime. Yeah. Knock on wood, I've been pretty injury free throughout my career. There's no reason I can't do 3, 4, 5, 6 more years of racing because I love it. Yeah. And if the business is self-sustaining enough to be able to do its thing and I could put my time into training and be a consistent main event guy and do the YouTube thing the way I'm doing it, which is only going to hopefully continue that upward trend, and run the academy the way I'm doing it and having these guest instructors and teaching classes 3-4 days a week. Yeah. That's going to be a deadly combination. There's nobody doing it. No. I don't want to toot my own horn. I really don't. But there's nobody doing it kind of the way I do it now. There's no one really doing it the way I do it now, but I want to take it to the next level. I want to be like really competitive racing, and my goal is to be the best trainer in the world. I really want to be the best motocross trainer in the world. But I want to be a freaking competitive racer at the same time. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to try.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.